Okay, today is April 27th. It's Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to the doctor. I was playing Thursday. I don't know. When I shot 11, I was doing the drill in the second quarter of in the second quarter of the second game. And when I shot the ball, I could just feel like stuff tearing through my chest. It was slight, and I actually played another 5 quarters. I actually thought I had finished the third game, but I hadn't. I had only played 3 quarters, so I only played 5 more quarters after I did it. But I wasn't feeling any pain or anything, and my shooting was still sucking. But came to realize, I played 7 days and then took 2 days off, and then I played like 9 days and then took 5 days off because I was trying to deal with the thigh and the calf thing, and yeah, it basically put me back to zero. So yeah, even playing the last 7 days, because yeah, the first 23 days I could have played, I took 6 days off or 7 days off. I only played 16 of the first 23 days I could have. And I only played 30 overall, so. But basically never got to really. I was shooting 55% when I took the 10 days off, and then, yeah, could never seem to get past 50% over the last, 14 days of playing. After taking that 10 days off, I played like 14 days. But I realized, I come to realize, I was sick all last year. From August on, after I took all the penicillin and I was able to play consistently, the sweating and my constantly taking penicillin during the week. I wasn't taking it every day, but I'd go like 3 days and I'd take one, and then another 2 days and take one. I just kind of always made sure that there was some penicillin running through my body to fight off whatever infection was still left that I didn't sweat out from running around on the court playing. And I wasn't really running because I didn't want to when I saw this thing sticking out of me, I didn't know what it was. I didn't find out what it was until after I stopped playing in December. Like 2 days after I finished playing, I went to the doctor and he went, "It's a hernia." But the doctor did the surgery, said, yeah, I had to have had it for at least a year and a half. And I said, well, yeah, I probably got it when I was rebuilding the house last January or December, February, somewhere in there. I was chopping trees and painting and putting ceilings in and taking cast iron bathtubs out of the bathroom and rebuilding it. And, I almost chopped my leg off, almost gutted myself. I almost chopped my leg off chopping a tree out in the back. The circular saw got away from me. Luckily, because I was wearing all these clothes, it jammed up. I have a big scar from where it broke the skin. I got this brown scar. Even the guy, when he was doing the hernia that morning, and he saw it, he was like, "What's that?" And he was telling me, yeah, if I would have been like a 1/4 inch up higher, if it would have pierced, he said it probably would have bled all over the side of the house. Probably would have died right there at your house. Probably would have just bled all over the place. But either way, so yeah, basically I was sick all last year, and then because the hernia was poisoning my body, that's why I kept getting sick for the 5 months up to August. I kept getting sick for 2 weeks, and it would take like a week to get myself to even wanting to eat again. Yeah, it was like nothing I'd ever experienced. The COVID test. I was trying to figure out what it might be because it wasn't a cold. and I just knew I was just deathly ill, and it was taking away my appetite. And even when it went away, because I wasn't doing anything to make it go away. Just after like 2 weeks, it would just go away. And the real challenge was wanting to eat again. It stopped me from eating, and by the time it went away, I hadn't been eating for a week and a half. And so trying to want to eat again, I actually had to crave something. Like one morning it was McDonald's pancakes. Another time it was French fries and a chocolate shake. Just different weird things. A torta with lengua in it. I always had to find something, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something that made me want to eat. But yeah, then being sick all last year, and then having the surgery at the end of January, and finding the tumor besides doing the other thing, and then getting back on the court, like 3 weeks after surgery. It just, I should have realized when I kept having these different issues. First the thigh, and then the calf, and then my arm was, it's still bothering me, and it's still got this thing going behind my ear that's killing me. But actually, when this happened the other day, this actually let up. I really haven't been getting that sore on my neck from my shoulder on this side because of what happened here. When this happened, the pain in my neck kind of went away. It's still there, and I feel it, but it's not like it was. Before, it was like having a migraine. I just tolerated it. But, and I'm seeing this guy tomorrow about this, and it's hard to say what it is. I feel it more in my tricep than behind my arm, more than where I felt it when it was happening when I was shooting the ball. I was feeling it through my chest. I could kind of feel it just kind of pulling apart. And like I say, I kept playing. It didn't hurt at all. I wasn't feeling any pain from any of it. So I figured I'd finish the day and then stop playing and just figure out what was going on. And luckily, because I got this healthcare stuff now, I get to get it seen, and I can get these x-rays, or we'll probably have to do an MRI. Because that's the only way you can really tell tendons and stuff like that. You really can't tell with an x-ray. And even though my one bone is up here and the other one is down here, as far as my collarbone, yeah, see, the one is down here and the other one's up here. So, but yet with a pectoral strain, because of the strain, it can move the bone. It doesn't necessarily mean that that it detached. It just from the swelling and whatever, it just kind of moved. As it corrects, it'll go back. At least that's my understanding. I don't really know. I'm not a doctor, but that's my understanding of it. And it must not be too severe of a grade, because I just keep icing it, wearing these ice packs. I'll show you here. Hang on. So I have these ice packs. They come with this plastic stuff. And yeah, I just kind of throw it over my shoulder. I put it underneath the thing now. See, the ice is encased in this cloth, so that way you don't necessarily have to have something to put on your shoulder so it's not touching you. But yeah, I just put it in here. And this thing, I usually strap it around. There's Velcro on this side, so it's attached around. I usually put it on like this and have it come around under the shirt. See, and then I use this and it holds it. And I just wear it like this. And I can pull it back so some of it is going over the back of my shoulder, the top of my shoulder, but basically wear it like this, or I can strap it so it's going more under the back here. But I've been doing it on both sides a lot since Thursday. It's really all you can do. You can't really do much of anything else. And I just haven't done anything to aggravate it, you know. And, sleeping is getting easier because this isn't killing me. When I was playing and all that, yeah, it was killing me trying to sleep at night. It didn't bother me when I shot, which was really weird. But yeah, when I try to lay down and go to sleep, yeah, it was a pain in the ass. But anyway, so yeah, either way, like I say, was sick all last year. Then got, you know, my system had to have gotten weaker from the surgery. So I mean, in all respect, it's no wonder. I mean, first it was the thigh, then it was the calf, then it was the arm. I couldn't. It got to the point where I couldn't even use single-armed weights because this was having a problem which was aggravating the thing going through my neck, so I had to stop lifting weights. And yeah, just all these little things. In all the years of my working out, especially in the last 40 years of doing this 9 months a year thing, when I start, you know, I take the 3 months off, November, December, January, and then I start in February. The only thing that I ever really have to adapt to is my big toes, because they hurt when I start running around and jumping on them again. So yeah, that usually takes 3 or 4 weeks maybe before my feet start getting used to jumping up and down them, and then they don't hurt so much. They're still black and blue and look crazy, but at least they don't hurt. But see, all these other little things, I never go through any of that. Like I say, I don't ever get sick. And in all these years of playing ball since I was 12, most I've done is broken all these fingers. I fractured them at some point. You know, used to sprain my wrist or sprain my ankle. But other than that, I've never done anything really. So yeah, so with all these little things going on, I should have realized, yeah, see, your body just is exhausted. I mean, you were sick all last year, then you had the surgery. As much as you feel good, you're probably really weak. And that was something I was saying. I had to build my strength up just so I could shoot the threes again, to make the distance. I'm not, like I say, when I was doing it when I was 62, even at 65, I just stopped working with the roofers in that in 2017. So yeah, and before that I was working with them, so yeah, I'm probably a lot stronger than I am now. I don't do anything as far as, the most strenuous thing I did was rebuild this house, and that gave me a hernia. So yeah, old age is finding its place. But yeah, all these little injuries should have told me that, yeah, see, you need to just stop for a while and just, you know, you're obviously very weak still from just being sick all last year and then from the surgery itself. I mean, the recovery time for just the surgery itself was, like he kept reminding me, was 6 months. And yeah, even if this is a grade 1 thing, yeah, the healing of the material will heal in like 3-4 weeks, but as far as the whole usage of everything, usually 6 months at least. So I'm figuring, yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to play again until next year. I'll probably just wait until like February of next year, and by then everything will be more in place, and I should be a lot stronger, and I'll have rested, and I wouldn't have done it. And yeah, as much as I'll have to start all over again, at least I should be a lot stronger, just from not being sick for the last year and a half. So yeah, I just decided, yeah, once I did this, I was just going, yeah, see, to really fix this takes time. And this is all about this, so yeah, I've got to be good at it. So yeah, the only logical thing to do is really to just wait until next February and just chill and I mean tomorrow I don't know. Maybe for all I know he might go. You need surgery or and like you say, yeah, I was even talking to the girl there this morning when I was making the appointment. I was going, depending on what he says, I mean, I don't have to shoot a basketball. So yeah, depending on if it comes to where he's going, you could have surgery, I'll probably really debate about whether if I'm only having surgery so I can shoot a basketball again, then I probably won't do it. If it's not going to affect anything else of normal life, I'll just leave it. There's no point in going through the surgery just so I can shoot a basketball. I'll just let time deal with that. And but yes, if everything goes well and there's no surgery to be done, it's more just about taking time off and just resting and getting strong, my entire body. Then probably next February I'll give it another shot and show the progression, and that I can even do it still then. That just needed to get my shit together. But other than that, if you guys are watching these NBA finals, it's pretty funny. I wrote about all this before they even started, and I was going, there's only 5 teams. There's 3 in the West: OKC, the Spurs, and Denver. And I only give Denver a nod because they've been in the finals a lot recently. They won the finals a couple of years ago. In fact, I was going to watch it, the 2023 finals when they won. But I don't know, watching that team and watching the team that's been playing, and then I saw this thing on YouTube where Jokic was asking him for a trade or something, and I was going, why would you bring that up now while you're in the middle of the playoffs? If that's really true that really went down, then it's no wonder that the rest of the team isn't really trying to play at all. Everybody's just probably going, let's get to vacation time. And then at that point, it'll be LeBron against, the money is having LeBron play Wemby, and Wemby being in the finals, period. Because he's the face of the NBA right now. And it would be, look, the old guard against the new guard. But yeah, I don't see Minnesota being a challenge for OKC. In fact, I don't really see, even the Spurs. I've only seen OKC once, and that was the other day. And even watching this MVP guy, SGA or whatever, it's like I wrote on the internet. I said, he reminds me of Jordan. He must have watched a lot of tapes of the way Mike controlled and played a game, because he plays a lot like him as far as the way that he approaches the game. He picks his moments. He's a lot like the reason why I said Michigan would win the NCAA title was because their offense didn't run through the biggest guy on the floor. It ran through the other 4 guys. All Mara did was fill holes. He just was there to fill the gaps that the other 4 left. And when they needed scoring, he was the guy they went to because of his size. But yeah, they really didn't. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's getting dark out. We've got to turn the lights on. Okay, but anyway, so like I say, probably won't play again until next year. I mean, unless the doctor says that there really isn't a whole lot wrong with my shoulder and you don't really have to wait that long, that I might start playing. Maybe I'll start playing when it reaches my birthday in July. Because right now, looks like I'm just going to go to Chicago and grab some things and bring them back here. And then I'll decide about, I'll stay here till at least my birthday of next year. And then make a decision about whether to stay here or go. Logically, I mean, it's a beautiful home and there's lots of room, but I'm only using a bedroom and a kitchen and a bathroom. And there's 4 bedrooms, a living room, a dining room, and a 23 by 16 sunroom. I'm not using a patio in the backyard. I painted it. It's about the most time I spend on it. The cats spend more time on it than I do. I really don't have, my cousin lives behind me and I don't even spend time with them, but that's because of them. That's not really because of me. But at any rate, I just wanted to share all that. And like I say, this NBA stuff, I thought Detroit was going to be here, but the one thing I was talking about on YouTube was that, there would be all this drama. There's really only 5 teams that are going to be in the finals that have a chance. And that would be Boston, Detroit, Denver, OKC, and the Spurs. And now it just looks like Boston's the only thing coming out of the East. I don't care what the other teams do. Detroit can even come back and beat Orlando because, like I said, the NBA is going to stretch this thing out. It's kind of like doing 7 games for this first round. That is like, first you got this play-in thing to get the 7 and 8 guys, and then the first round is 7 games. I was thinking it was only 5, and yet all these teams that are up 3-1, and OKC has to play a 4th game tonight when they easily overmatched the 8th seed here. It's like the Spurs. The only reason the Spurs lost was because Victor wasn't there. That's the only reason they lost. And it was more just the shakeup. But I don't see anybody really standing in a lot of these teams' way until they get to the end. I figure the Spurs are going to end up against OKC, even though, like I say, I figure the NBA will make it that he ends up facing LeBron somewhere along the line. Because there's more money in that than there is in just going through the motions of elimination. That's why they're playing 7 games in the first round, because they got to make money and, they got to try and draw interest to a league that is dying. And like I say, and it's dying because, like I say, when they started playing 3-ball, it really exposed how poor of shooters they are. That's really what opening the floor did. It just showed how bad they are at shooting. It just showed it more. If they can only shoot 35 to 45% inside the perimeter of the 3 line through history, what makes you think they're going to shoot a higher percentage behind it? It's farther away. They're going to shoot just as bad, if not worse. They'll have their moments because, yes, the one thing the NBA players are good at, they are streak shooters. They are players that have moments. And their moments might be this game, and then 2 games later they have another moment. But they are about moments. That's why, like, when you have like the 4 and 5 team and the 3 and 6 guy playing each other, there's a lot of levity there where things can change because these teams are more evenly balanced. I only gave Detroit a nod because they had the best record in the East, but watching them play Orlando, I was going, it's amazing that you had the best record in the East. Because, Boston looks like the best team in the East. And, they look like the only team that's going to come out of there. And they're going to play either the Spurs or OKC. And I would think, and it's not a knock on the Spurs, I just think the Spurs are too young, and OKC has already won the thing. And like I say, this SGA guy, he's a guy who fills holes. He doesn't overplay. Like I say, he reminds me, when I was watching the other day, I was going, he must have watched a lot of films of Jordan, because he plays a lot like him as far as the way that he approaches the game. He doesn't push anything. He keeps a lid on the team so they don't go crazy, and he never loses his composure about stuff. He just kind of lets things happen, and when he needs to do his thing, he does it. And he's got that fadeaway jumper down. I mean, that's his bread and butter, and he can do it. He can do it from the sides of the basket, or he can do it, at the slant. But yeah, when he puts that move on you and does that fadeaway, you're usually dead meat. He doesn't miss that too much. It is his bread and butter, and that was George's bread and butter. Even though he really didn't need to use the fade a lot, but he used it a lot, just like Olajuwon. I mean, it's a great shot because you can shoot over taller guys. Without having to use the backboard to shoot over the taller guy, which is why I tell people you should learn to use the backboard, because yes, the angle of shooting the basket, shooting at the rim is like this, shooting at the backboard is like this. So when the guy wants to block your shot, it's easy to block this, harder to block that. So, I mean, that's the logic. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that. And I realized that the 10 drill thing I did on the 30th day of shooting NBA threes back in 2016, I realized that the one that was on there only showed like 17 minutes of it. The drill took like 32 minutes to do the whole thing. And yeah, the only thing that was messed up was in the very first drill, I missed 4 of the first 5 shots, and it's the 30th day, and I know that I know this drill is going to take me at least 30 minutes to do, because on an average I do a 3 drill in about 2.5 minutes. So I figured 10 of them, yeah, I'm going to be doing this for 30 minutes nonstop, and I think I take like a 30-second break between the 5th drill and the 6th drill. I talk to the camera for a second. But you got to remember, when I do those 10 drills, I had played 3 games shooting from the college line before I did those 10 drills. I had already played for an hour and 40 minutes before I did the 10 drills. That's why I was kind of dreading it, and why I walked through a lot of it in the beginning, because I had to make sure I wasn't going to get too tired and then wouldn't be able to fulfill the shooting. I mean, I said I would do these 4-3 drills and, shoot over 60% and shoot over 57% for all 10 drills combined. And, so I had to make sure that I had the energy to finish it, and not be missing every shot because I'm too tired and the ball's not reaching the rim or whatever. So, because you got to remember, it was only the 30th day of me shooting NBA threes. But I did do it, but I have this DVD. It's a 6-hour DVD. It's nothing but me doing 4-3 drills during that first 2.5-year span that I only shot NBA threes for 6 months. Yeah, these are all the 4-3 drills during that time. And yeah, fills up a 6-hour DVD. That's how many there are. There's like 30 of them on there. But yeah, it's a 6-hour DVD. But I took it off of that. I put it in my laptop has a player, so I put the disc in there, copied it off the disc, and then moved it onto YouTube. That's why it's a smaller square than the one that was short that I'm going to erase. That I copied. I played it on my TV and then recorded it off the TV with the laptop. uh, I wasn't going to do that again this time. But anyway, so now you can see the whole thing. But in the beginning, yeah, in that first drill, see, when I missed the 3 drill, when I missed the 3 shot, I when I get the rebound inside of it, or if it's past the 3, I gotta shoot it. See, I didn't shoot any of the rebounds for shot. When I missed shot 2, shot 3, and shot 11, I didn't shoot the rebound shot. I just went to the next 3 shot. And I did it with 2 and 3 because I was getting pissed off, missing the first 4 or 5 that I shot. And then when I missed the 5th one, I just threw the rebound when I got it, because it came right off the backboard and I caught it. I just took it and threw it at the backboard. I didn't even try and shoot. I just threw it at it. I was so pissed off. And then I just kind of was telling myself as I was walking to the ball, you got to get your crap together here, boy, because you got 30 minutes to deal with. So yeah, you gotta get on with this. And yeah, ended up shooting 10 of 17 in that first drill, and then yeah, it was 11 of 14 the second, 7 of 18 the third drill, and that put me at 57% after 3 drills. But then I shot 78.5, making 11 of 14 again in the fourth drill, which pushed me up to 61.9. Then I did the single drill, and that was, I think, 47%. It was 8 of 17. And then I started the second 4-3 drill and started with a 12 of 16, which is 75%. I already know I could do 10 of 18 for the next 3 drills, which is 55.5%, and I would still be shooting 60% exactly at the end of the 4-3 drill. I knew I wouldn't have to shoot 60% again. I knew all I'd have to do is shoot 55% for the rest of the 3s after I realized I had shot so well that first quarter. And then, yeah, the second quarter, the second one was 6 of 14, which is like 42%. But then I came back and did 12 of 17, and then the last 2 drills after 9 of 19. I did 12 of 16, then 9 of 19, and then I did 9 of 15 and 10 of 15, which is 9 of 15 is 60% and 10 of 15 is 66.6. So that corrected the 9 of 19. Because after shooting the 9 of 19, I was 21 of 35. 21 of 35 is 60% even. So after I shot the first 2 drills of the second 4-3, I was right at 60%. So yeah, shooting 60% even on the third drill, and then 66% got me to 61.5. And then the last drill was 6 of 14. So for all 10, I shot like 58.4 for all 10, which I said I would shoot at least 57. So I did what I said I would, but now you can actually see it all. I never realized that it was only showing half of it before. It was only showing 17 minutes of it, and then the whole thing is 34 minutes long. 34 minutes and 6 seconds, I think. Kind of like this. This is 34:16, 34:6 right now. But anyway, I'm done talking, and hopefully I'll catch you next year.